Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rex Capital and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video update about the huge breakout for Bitcoin that is just around the corner. It is imminent. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future, and let's dive right into the update. So just to understand Bitcoin's price action, this is a weekly chart right over here with the most important resistance being 38,200, and I've marked this out with a red horizontal level. And you can see that the blue circles highlight periods of price action where Bitcoin was able to perform a weekly candle close above this red level. And, contrary to this period of price action where we didn't get that weekly close, and so that led to a rejection, this weekly candle close above the red level actually preceded a successful retest of this previous resistance into a new support to springboard to higher price levels. That is essentially trading on confirmation and just understanding that the trend is changing. Sellers are no longer selling. In fact, sellers who were selling before are actually now buying again and trying to chase the trend as it evolves. So right over here, this same level, yesterday we had this weekly close being in the midst, and we got a fantastic weekly candle close. This is the newest weekly close, and if you just focus on this blue circle, you'll notice that a weekly candle close above the red level precedes a fantastic opportunity for Bitcoin to just perform that retest attempt. So this is essentially the price, the chart at the moment to be paying attention to, because if we're able to claim $38,000 as a support like we did in early February, so that of course would entail a pullback from these highs, but nonetheless a pullback before springing back into a nice uptrend. That would be fantastic confirmation that we are now entering an uptrend for Bitcoin. So that's the most important thing to bear in mind on the weekly time frame, because it took Bitcoin 2 weeks to just confirm its prior uptrend in February. So it was the weekly candle close above this key area and then a successful retest. And it could very well be the case that we're going to see something quite similar, in the sense that this week we're going to see that very important retest attempt happen to propel itself into a nice uptrend. Because after all, we're seeing a macro higher low for Bitcoin, and it's great to see this buy side momentum, this buy side mentality essentially creep up, because people are buying the dip here at around the low 30,000s, whereas now, or at least in this period of price action, it was at 35,000. So this higher low is just showcasing to us a nice buy side mentality, people buying at a premium. So let's just focus here on the short term. This is a chart from yesterday which has developed. I was watching for a daily candle close inside this red area. We got that fantastic daily candle close. We're probably going to pull back into this diagonal over here, because we have broken out from this wedging structure. And the key thing to bear in mind is, of course, the daily candle close, followed by a pullback for that retest attempt. And this is essentially what I'm marking out with this period. So just a breakout, pullback, and follow through on the breakout. The most important thing to mention here is that we really need to have a test of 38,000 like we saw over here, because prior to that, we haven't been able to test the 39,000 region as a support. So if we just focus on this red area right over here, the bottom of the red area is 38,000. And you can see right over here in this period of price action that we were actually able to retest the 38K region as a support before springboarding higher. But in the past, we weren't able to just retest the 39 area as a support. You can see that that resulted in a failed retest. And in fact, 39K was a resistance that rejected price as well in the past. And over here you can see that 39 rejected price, 39 rejected price. And even over here in this period of price action, 39 didn't reject price, but it did fail into a support. So you can just see from this chart that 39 isn't to be counted on, really. Historically, 39 provides us with failed support tests of the 39 area, or it just figures as a resistance to reject price to lower levels. Again, failed support test of 39 as a support and actually figuring as a resistance here and resistance here. So right over here right now, the chances of 39 figuring as a resistance are quite high. The chances of even potentially deviating briefly and failing to turn 39k into resistance, into support, apologies, it is quite high. The probability that is tilted in our favor is just to reject from 39 right now and just pull back into a support like we did before and then springboard to higher price levels. That's the opportunity that I'm going to be waiting for, really, because 39 isn't to be counted on. And this recent price history, as well as the price history dating back to earlier this year, just showcases how 39 isn't really a reliable level. So the last thing that I want to talk about in this video is that we have two important weekly EMAs converging right now. This is the 21 weekly exponential moving average, and this is something I spoke about in a previous video as well. This needs to be the level that is reclaimed as a support to just sustain the bull market momentum. The other EMA that I'm talking about and spoke about in previous videos as well is the 50-week EMA, which tends to figure as a support in bull markets. So we need to reclaim the 21 EMA, and the 50 EMA is holding as a support quite nicely. So these two are going to be converging into an extrapolated triangular market structure that you can see right over here. And of course, this was a chart from June 11th. So here's an updated chart, and you can see how, because of Bitcoin's nice weekly candle close, nice recovery from the 50-week EMA, you can see how the 50-week EMA itself is now deviating from that proposed pathway, proposed trend lines that I suggested only a few days prior. And the same thing goes for the 21 weekly exponential moving average, where now they're deviating towards the upside. So they're no longer actually really converging. If we just go back to the previous slide here, they're not converging anymore, where these two EMAs are now going to be converging, causing price to consolidate and coil into the apex of this market structure. You're actually seeing that they're starting to diverge with Bitcoin's recent bullish momentum, and this divergence is going to continue, which is going to change the shape of this overall market structure. It might not end up as a triangle, it could end up as a wedge as time goes on and as this Bitcoin uptrend continues. That's something to bear in mind, because these two EMAs, though they were converging, they are diverging right now, but they still are important supports and resistances to pay attention to going forward. But they are dynamic supports and resistances. They will be changing over time. They will be adjusting with increases in price action, and we're just seeing that from the past few days. What a change we're already seeing, from convergence to potential divergence right now. And for this divergence in the EMAs to continue, this is the pathway that I'm going to be watching for, because ultimately we want to break out and confirm this breakout, because this is a breakout from a wedging structure right now, but it's not fully confirmed. It will only be fully confirmed if it pulls back into 38k, successfully turns the top of this wedging structure into a support. That's going to be what we need for that confirmed upside. And having said that, guys, that's about it for today's video update. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Like the video if you, of course, enjoyed this one. And of course, check out Direct Capital newsletter in the link in the description down below. We cover a lot of cool things 3 times a week, go into so much more extensive and in-depth analysis on Bitcoin and altcoins in general. So feel free to check that out if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.